I'd need to like go to like the fucking health center and be like, can we get a test here? I just don't want to go home with gonorrhea with this trip.
It was rampant, man. You could see there were a lot of women working, a lot of sex workers there, tons of them. And you see this guy, he's like, let's say 65 pounds overweight, 55 years old, and he's having lunch, and she's, he's white, she's black, she's 19, and she's tight. And I'm like, man, she's not there for free. There's no way.
I saw a situation like that in the mall one time. We were all sitting there, and we saw this older white guy with like a really young, hot Asian chick, and I'm like, I wonder how much she cost.
Yeah,
like
gotta be.
It's definitely a mail order bride.
I think it's about time to rip into Porn Star now.
All right, then.
Oh, you know what? I was going to go first. Let me go first.
Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about work. So usually I let my the guest host choose my little rant, for the given week. But people go to CNANers and ask for girl advice. I get questions all the time about work advice. People who want to make their living with computers or whatever. And I thought I'd tell my story. It's not quite as entertaining as the other weeks, but here we go. So coming out of high school, my GPA was horrible. It was a 1.98. And I was just a terrible, terrible student.
Hold up. I thought you wanted to go first on ripping down into Porn Star.
Nope. I want to cover this topic first. I think Porn Star might help on it. And I don't know if it's ripping into Porn Star. Do we even have to do that? So anyway, terrible GPA in high school. Only got into college off some good SAT scores and the fact that I could swim like a fish. And I got into college, and my major was undeclared. And after 2 years, my GPA was low because I got this is a better story, but I got thrown out of the dorms, and it hurt my grades. And so my GPA was low, and I couldn't get into the major I wanted, which was accounting. And so my father owns a small accounting firm, and I was always going to sort of go to the family business and take it over and whatever. So after 2 years of college, I switched. I went to night school. So I transferred to Drexel. And when that happened, I kind of cleaned up my act, and I started taking college really seriously. I got much better grades, and I worked during the day and went to college at night. And I did that for a long time. I think in my undergrad, it probably took me for 2 full-time years and probably maybe 7 more part-time years. So someone's got feedback on their mic. Kyle does? Kyle.
That fix it?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yep.
So anyway, I went to night school for 7 years. And during that time, I worked during the day as an accountant at first, but didn't like the job. Within 4 weeks of accounting, I started contributing to my retirement account like crazy because I wanted to retire as early as possible, and I didn't see any other out. I would drive to my job thinking to myself that if I got into a bad enough car accident, I would get time off from work. This was... And, I just detested everything about it. And I worked really hard. I probably worked about 120 hours, 110 hours maybe a week. And
110 hours a week? What the fuck you on?
Yeah, it was a lot. And that includes everything. I worked about 70 hours a week. I went to school, and I had a side business, all cooking at the same time. And
did you sleep?
Yeah, I actually got enough sleep. But the thing is, all I did was work and sleep. That was the only thing.
I'd be burned out in a week doing that.
Those are FPS Kyle numbers you're working.
Really, you've done that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I did it for I did it for 5 years or maybe longer. And it wasn't that I was exhausted. It was just that there was kind of a lack of happiness going on. There weren't the other things cooking for me that I like doing. So and as I worked as an accountant, what I did like was working with the computers. And I kind of became their computer guy, and their clients had computer issues, or they'd see the systems that I set up in our own office and ask who their guy was and if they could use him too, and it was me. So I would go to client sites and do that, and eventually turned into my side business. And what I did was simple by today's standards, really. I would network small offices together, doctors, dentists, small manufacturing companies, things like that. I'd network the computers together. I'd help them make product selections on what to buy, what printers they needed, get them shared up and stuff like that. And that was my side business. So computers I loved. And then gradually my career sort of drifted there too. First I'm an accountant, and then I'm a call center guy who takes help calls over the phone for accounting software. And then, I moved from that to some other, I'm writing software having to do with accounting until I was finally able to free myself from accounting entirely and just work on tech stuff. And then, because my degree was MIS is like it's a computer/business degree, and I had these ideas that maybe there were holes in my knowledge that weren't plugged. So that's when I picked up a computer science master's degree. And my takeaway from the whole thing is that it's not too late. Like I've listened to a couple commentaries lately. One of them was Crunk Skunk, and I hope the message finds him. That I think he described himself as a college dropout, and wasn't really happy with how his career was going at the time. And I look at that and I think, you got plenty of time left, right? The guy's got like 60 more years to live. Do what you want to do. Go to school. Get a job. Get a career. Your objective here is to be so good at something that people line up to pay you $100, $150 a year. And if you want to make more than that, then you got to be self-employed, by and large. But and then look at what those things are. You need to have a skill that people will pay for, and hopefully you at least somewhat enjoy it. So find that and then go after it. That's how we're.
Or you could rob a bank.
Kyle, how do you make money?
With a really expensive printer.
No, more seriously. How do you get a good career? What do you do?
Well, first of all, you got to find something that you don't mind absolutely devoting yourself to fully. Something that you don't mind coming in on working on Christmas Day, which I've done probably 5 or 6 times, and I'm only 24. And then you've actually got to be good at it. So it's got to be something that you enjoy and that you're good at. I think you mentioned that. And you have to devote yourself to it. And, I mean, that still doesn't mean that you're going to be successful at it. It's just, I was really good at talking to people. I was really good at lying to people. So I sold a lot of cars. I sold a lot of, I was really good at, just making people buy stuff all the time. And that's just, it's where I found myself to be successful, is just getting Joe Schmo to pay $400 for something that literally doesn't exist. An imaginary product called, we had this product called Permaplate, which is, we told them it was a fabric protectant for your car. We didn't even put it on the cars. We sold it for $750. And, I got 30% of that.
I bet I could talk you to 500. I could talk you down.
Oh, yeah, of course you can, because it doesn't cost shit. Sure, 500 for nothing. Sounds like a good deal to me. Because after you get out of here, I got 10 more customers coming. I'm going to sell it to them, too. I really enjoyed selling stuff. I probably could have sold makeup. It doesn't matter. I just like selling stuff.
Yep. Having a passion for what you do is a big part of it. If you don't like it, then you're not likely to really go after it and devote yourself 100% to it. You can make, $45,000 by just checking into work, turning your brain off, and not giving a damn about it. But if it's something that you're thinking about in the shower and looking forward to going to, then you're a different kind of employee. Or if you own the place, that's different yet too. You have a passion for what you're doing. It makes a big difference. And probably a lot of you, if you're young, are like, man, there's nothing I have a passion for. I don't really like this. I can't imagine myself in an office. What I wanted to do when I was 17 was be a ski instructor during the day and a bartender at night. And
see, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My father kind of talked me out of that. And I look back and think of the life I'd have, and I don't think it'd be a really good one. It might be a decent phase, to have in your life. But that is not the glamorous dream that you're after. What were you going to say, Kyle?
I was just going to say, people who, don't have a dream or, they can't think of that thing that's going to make them really happy. It's not always about the job. It's about what the job gets you. I would say about 90% of guys my age like vagina. So you're going to need some money to get the vagina. So you just got to, you've got to, while you're at work and you're doing that job you hate, you're like, I'm going to get some pussy tonight with this money. This is going to be great. And, you just keep shoveling coal or whatever the fuck your job is, keep walking the dogs for the old lady in the neighborhood, because there's a whore in South Carolina who will do half and half for $150 an hour. Keep that in mind. She won't come on your podcast for any less either.
Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. Having a job that makes you some money opens up some opportunities to have a good time. You can go on vacations. You can experience things.